I have been given limited time to make this opening statement. In fact, I wrote it out, and when I rehearsed it, I realized that it was much longer than 3 minutes. So forgive me if I start off by saying that I would do what sometimes we did in the Court of Appeal. When you hear a very good opening, as done by the Master of Ceremonies, then I say I endorse and agree with everything that she said. But nevertheless, I must recognize His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, who is especially here wearing both hats as President of this Republic and that of Chancellor of the University. Like everyone else here, I am extremely pleased to be here. The concept of having this symposium began several years ago. You've heard from Professor Imber that there were discussions. And when on one of the return visits from Hamburg, I paid the necessary courtesy call on His Excellency. And you heard, as soon as it was mentioned, he said, yes, I would love to be part of it, and I'd give you all every bit of encouragement that you need. So as a result of all of that, and further to it, it would be remiss of me if I did not mention Professor Ken Julian. After I was elected at the UN, I met with him at the campus in Omira, and he said, we must have a conference or symposium. But then he was not there, and discussions were few and far between. Then a lot of other things happened. I met some members of the diplomatic corps, and I see three that I'm recognizing here, one from Argentina, and I think, I haven't gotten the details, but I know they are. And everybody was saying, let us have it. So what happened? Discussions continued, even among my fellow judges, and I'm very happy to see Judge Kateka from Tanzania here. He came in about 12 o'clock last night and all fit and ready to participate. So Judge Kateka, let me specially welcome you. And also coming in last night was Mr. Michael Lodge, who is the Secretary General of the International Seabed Authority. He will be addressing us later. And on that same aircraft last night was Dr. Lorna Innes, who's the coordinator of the UNEP, that she has also flown in. And as you heard, Mr. Young and so many others who are all particularly interested in being here today. But 2 years ago, while sitting in the chambers as lawyers usually meet, and when we meet, it's just not to have coffee and, as we say in Trinidad, old talk. We were talking some business on the law of the sea, and Mr. Romney Thomas, a director of Kenson, and also director of Trinidad Well Services Limited, he told me, he said, Anthony, what about this Law of the Sea conference? I'm going to call up Ken Ferguson, and I'm going to call up the others and tell them, look, let's see about financing this thing and getting it done. So we chatted about it, and then the Trinidad and Tobago Legal Network asked that I come and give them an address, and the lecture was on the importance and relevance of the law of the sea to Caribbean governments and peoples. So all of this was happening, all of this continued, and our discussions went on. In fact, at one particular time, and I'm sure my eyes are good enough, that I saw the former head of the Coast Guard, Commander, I think he was, let me get it correct, he was then made pretty high up, Richard Kelshaw, that he was also one of those who was discussing. And Richard Kelshaw, he's here, I'm seeing him straight in front. Richard? And he was saying, let's have the Law of the Sea conference. And then the present commander, who is now the commanding officer of the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard, and I must also recognize him, Wayne Amor, not only because he's a past student of Presentation College, a college to which the President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago also attended. So, you know, when we met each other, I said, yes, Presmen. So, and then, of course, and I say this knowing I will get a little rap for it, but we also have a former teacher and acting vice principal of Presentation College here today, and someone who's always been in touch with the law of the sea, my own wife, Sintra. So with all these discussions, this has come about. And we have to give, and you've heard it before, and I will do it again, credit to Professor Clement Imber, who is the Deputy Chairman and Board of Governors of UTT. And I think that his phone will tell him, all right, we are all part of the environment, give me a little rest, and tell Judge Lucky, don't call me at all times of the day and night to talk about this symposium that's coming about. And I want to thank him because he took all the calls. So this symposium, and in giving these opening remarks, you will see on this program, there are so many of us who are going to talk about this particular topic, enhancing ocean governance. It is extremely important. And there are so many of us who need to know, there are many of us who want to know, and there are many who would like to impart the knowledge that they know. And you will see it all today. And it was said at a recent visit where all the judges were taken to the Geomar that's the research center of Hamburg. The judges went, and one of the comments made by the director, he said, I would like to let you know, our future is in the oceans. We have done everything on the land. Our future is in the oceans. And he went on to look at a couple of the colleagues and he said, you know, you all seem to know more about the universe, but the universe of the oceans, we are now looking at it. We are beginning to go where no man has gone before. I think that's a quotation from Star Wars and one of these. So our future being in the oceans, we need to guard the ocean. We need to protect the ocean. We need to enhance ocean governance because it is not only for us today, it is for those of the future. And with those formally brief remarks, I would like to thank you all for your attention and to let you know that we are looking forward, all of us, looking forward to what we are going to hear today from everyone who would be addressing us. So thank you very much for your kind attention.